will see, or hear, I should say, the term League of Nations. Shush. Does anybody already know what that is? Anybody? League of Nations? No. Okay. How about this term, or this organization, the United Nations? Has anybody ever heard of the UN, the United Nations? Okay. Can any of you tell me what it is? What is its function? No? Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Is it like NATO?
Is it like NATO? No, it is not. NATO is a military alliance. The UN is not. Okay, so the United Nations, put this in your notes, by the way, was formed after World War II to encourage / work toward peaceful resolutions of disputes. There's also a very large humanitarian mission. Many humanitarian efforts that are run by the UN. And the United Nations has worked its way into other roles. They'll do climate studies and things like that too. Yes?
What did that bottom one say?
Humanitarian efforts or missions. Yes?
So what does that one say?
It says encourage and work toward peaceful resolutions of conflict.
So
What?
what does humanitarian missions like? Missions.
So, like if there's a starving population of people somewhere because there was a crop failure or something, there's famine, the UN might bring in relief for them.
Okay.
It might bring in some dehydrated potatoes or something. Okay, the League of Nations was formed after World War I, and it was meant to encourage and work toward peaceful resolutions of conflicts without violence.
Man, I thought that didn't work.
And there was probably some humanitarian stuff, I don't know, but the main point of both of these groups was to encourage peaceful resolutions to disputes between countries, to avoid war. World War I was also known as the War to End War. It is so bad, everyone was so traumatized by it, that you couldn't imagine, like, nobody could ever be so stupid to ever want to go to, have large conflicts like this again. So the idea was to have a club for countries. And if you've got a problem with another country, you bring it to the club and you talk it out. Find a peaceful resolution. But clearly, because there was a World War II, we know that this didn't work. Right?
Right.
Now I've got a question for you. Have countries gone to war after the United Nations was formed?
Yeah.
So there are 5 permanent member countries of the UN Security Council. Russia, China, the United States, the United Kingdom, And I think the fifth one's France. I could be
Who
wrong.
did that fight?
Shh. Every single one of those countries who are members, permanent members of the Security Council of the United Nations, a group that is supposed to prevent conflict, every single one of them have engaged in armed conflict to resolve problems they had since the UN was formed. Every single one of them. So, what's this for again?
Really nothing.
I mean, the idea is great. Does it work, though?
No.
So the argument could be made, I suppose, that maybe there would be more conflicts had it not been for the efforts of the United Nations. Is that possible? Could maybe the United Nations has solved some of the conflicts without actual warfare? Okay, but certainly it hasn't been perfect. The humanitarian missions, certainly the United Nations has helped in times of famine, for example. They've helped with refugees. So when there is armed conflict between countries and people are displaced, they're there to help with those people that are displaced. Okay? That's good. So I'm not saying that the United Nations is completely worthless, but it certainly hasn't been entirely successful, has it? Just like the League of Nations was not successful. So the reason I bring these up is because you're going to hear about the League of Nations in the video today, and you'll see how toothless they really